You're not watching Platinum End, feels overhyped, should you be watching it? No. I'm going to tell you why you shouldn't be watching Platinum End. You've seen Death Note, Galactic, correct? Anybody seen Death Note? Everybody knows what Death Note is. Everybody knows how there are 2 parts to Death Note. There's the first 2/3, which is the part everyone remembers, and then the last third that everyone conveniently forgets to mention when talking about Death Note, because they spend most of the time introducing new rules and explaining how those rules interact with the rules that were already established in the first 2/3. Platinum End in the first 2 episodes is like 70% the last third of Death Note. And it was created by the same people who created Death Note. So it's literally explaining rules. In one episode, in the second episode, here's what happens, okay? There's an angel, and he saves people and gives them powers, and then they fight to see who's gonna become God, okay? We don't need to know any more than that to know this. The angel shows up and says, "Would you like wings, or would you like an arrow that makes people fall in love with you?" And the MC says, "I want both." And the angel's like, "Cool, you got both." In the next episode, you learn that there are some angels that can only give one the red arrow or wings. And there's an angel who's like, "My candidate will never win considering I can only give out red arrows." And then, later in the episode, you see a dude who is just a comedian who is basically just having sex with all kinds of, like, idols and shit. Okay? And he's on TV, and he's like, "Yeah, all these idols are falling in love with me. Isn't that great?" Basically, you see on the TV that angel floating above him. The one that was like, "I can only give arrows that make people fall in love with the person." Okay? So it's shown, okay, this is the guy who can only make people fall in love with him. He's a prick because he's forcing women to fuck him when they wouldn't otherwise. And they established earlier that this angel can only give red arrows. So that guy dies. That guy gets smoked. Long story short, he dies. And then the angel for the MC says, "Oh, did you know that there's like a hierarchy of angels? And like special grade angels can give out white arrows, red arrows, and wings. And then there's a first grade angel which can give out red arrows and wings. And then there's a second grade angel which can only give out one or the other." And you're like, "Oh, okay, so that guy was a second grade angel. I guess that explains it. I don't think I really needed to know that, but hey, whatever, I got told that." Sure. Don't know why they're letting second grade angels participate in this 13 angel competition. I think there'd be more than 13 special grade angels, but what do I know? I'm not a fucking governmental fucking expert on the hierarchy of angels, so what the fuck do I know? Later in the episode, you see the angel carrying this corpse of the dude that got smoked in the void, and another angel shows up and is like, "Oh, so you're already eliminated?" And the angel's like, "Yeah, I knew I wasn't going to make it very far with my only being able to give red arrows." Like, yes, thank you for explaining it 4 times in 10 minutes that this is the thing that happened. I appreciate it. The writers don't have enough faith in the audience to go, see, they'll understand it after seeing it once or twice. What we need to do is make it abundantly clear that this angel was at a disadvantage because it couldn't give out both kinds of things. On top of the fact the animation's rough, and I don't know, it's not great. I would not recommend it. Don't recommend. Because the whole first episode, except for like a 4-minute section at the very end, there's a 4-minute section at the very end when MC is using his powers to progress the plot. And then at the start of the second episode, okay, end of the first episode, the villain that has been set up at the end of episode 1 is still alive and in the room with the main character. Start of episode 2, that villain has turned himself into the police, and MC has gotten all his money. And we're just told this. We aren't shown it. So it's like, they're just doing shit off screen that is plot important and not showing us. And they're like, what is it? The angel says something. Because you see like the MC get ready for his day at the start of episode 2. He's just in an apartment alone, which is different, I guess, than his normal way, which we don't see him getting ready for his day in episode 1, so we don't have any context for how this would be different than any other normal day. But then he goes and fucking he's walking to school or some shit, and the angel goes like making goofy fucking faces at him, like, why aren't you happy? You're so much closer to your goal now that you have entranced your uncle with the red arrows and made him turn himself in, and convinced the judge with your red arrows to give you all of his money. My goodness, why aren't you happier? It's like, okay, just show me that shit. Show, don't tell, okay? Of course, they have to leave some details out how so they make time to tell you why that angel couldn't win. Don't bother. If episode 3 is bad in a similar way, I'm dropping it. It's bad. It's not good.
24 hours later.
Yeah, don't watch Platinum End. Here's the thing with Platinum End. Yeah! It's dumb.
I can't.
It's just, the whole thing is dumb, but not in a fun way. It's dumb in a way that's unlike where Visual Prison is dumb. It's dumb in a way that makes you feel stupid for watching it. Episode 3 begins with the main character has a crush that was very briefly touched upon in episode 2. Well, it turns out his crush is also one of the god candidates. Oh my god! And she shoots him with a red arrow. But nothing changes because he's already in love with her. Haha! Funny. You see, that sounds like a very simple and easy and short way to go about explaining that. But the anime takes about 10 minutes to explain that. The love arrow is a thing that only lasts 33 days, which is one of the rules that was established in episode 2, one of the like 30 minutes of rules. So basically what they do is on the 33rd day, they tie up the main character to see if he's gonna enact revenge on her. But because he already loved her, he's just in love with her. Nothing happens other than now the female main character is like still sad, and the main character, after we got a time skip to 33 days later, is like, I'm so glad that you were able to show me what true companionship was during those 33 days when I was under this spell that didn't affect me. He's like, I look forward to being in love with you forever. And she's like, I hope I find happiness someday. And he's like, yeah, we'll be happy together. And she's like, but maybe not with you. And he's like, damn, that was embarrassing. And that's basically episode 3. Like, there's a little bit about, like, this Power Ranger motherfucker who's also a god candidate running around and murdering people or trying to murder people, but none of the other god candidates are coming out to say hello to him because they know that he's just going to murder them. It's just another episode where it's 80% talking and like 20% action, and all the things that would move the plot forward or constitute as like character development, just they don't exist. You're not shown them. This anime just tells you, and you're expected to just go, yeah, that sounds right, that happened. That's exactly what happened. That's the way it should have gone. Don't bother with Platinum End. It's a waste of time. I wasted an hour of my life on it. Don't waste an hour of your life on it.